Inshallah za ka karbi kasa inshallah maka Najeriya za ka karbi kasa inshallah Atiku ko Najeriya Allah maka Najeriya Allah maka Najeriya Allah maka Najeriya kira rike mu
So Atiku, this is my final advice to you. Many Nigerians have been calling upon you to step aside and allow Peter Obi. You have tried to be president more than 6 times. This is going to be the 7th time. The God that you trust in, the Allah you call upon and pray to, can't you see the handwriting on the wall that you have tried and tried? You've done your part. You were vice president. What else are you looking for? You want to divide the vote so that Tinubu will continue as president for Nigerians to continue to suffer? I am calling upon you to do the needful now. If Nigerians wanted you, by now you should have been president. Why don't you step aside? Forget your personal agenda. Forget your personal ambition. Atiku, don't be selfish. Think of Nigeria first. Atiku Abubakar, this is a sincere appeal. Don't let personal ambition stand in the way of collective progress. Don't allow your long-standing desire for power to blur your judgment or silence the voice of the people. 2027 is not just another election. It's an opportunity to rescue and rebuild Nigeria. The stakes are too high for ego to lead and for history to repeat itself. Sir, if the people's support is for another candidate, someone with fresh energy, broader acceptance, and momentum, do the honorable thing now. Step aside, support unity. Let your legacy be one of wisdom, not just ambition. True leadership sometimes means knowing when to lead, and other times knowing when to support. Nigeria needs a win and not a split. Let history remember you for not how long you pursued power, but for the moment you put Nigeria first. Alhaji Atiku, Nigeria is bleeding, people are dying, people are suffering, people are hungry, and we cannot afford another 4 years of a Tinubu regime. We are not saying that you're the only one that will bring about the win. But we are saying, don't divide the votes. And I call upon the ADC coalition, unless if the ADC coalition was formed secretly with a plan to bring in Atiku to stand in as their presidential candidate. But if it was not so, if you truly mean well for Nigeria and you want to see a change, don't allow Atiku to stand in. Nigerians don't want him. It's obvious that Nigerians want change. They want Peter Obi. They want somebody from the south. And it is now the turn of the south. Buhari was incompetent. Nigerians suffer under him. Yet, they allowed him to rule for 8 years. And now Tinubu is obviously incompetent. He said he came to continue where Buhari stopped. Now, he has taken the suffering of Nigerians to the next level. And we want to see change. Give a fresh blood a chance. Give somebody from the southeast a chance. Obasanjo from the southwest had the opportunity to govern Nigeria for 8 years. After Obasanjo, it went to the south, then went to the north, where Buhari took the nation down for 8 years. Tinubu has come now for a 4-year term. 2 years, Nigeria is already gone, and we don't want that to continue. Then some people are advocating that no, power needs to go to the north. Why must it be north? Okonkwo is calling for power to the north. Why? Is it because you are supporting Atiku? What will Atiku do? You were supporting Peter Obi. You said several times that they stole the election, that you were so sure Peter Obi was the winner. So if you knew he won, why will you now start saying that he doesn't stand the chance? And you're talking about how the politics works and that the northern vote. I am a northerner. The support for Peter Obi has increased. Many people in the north want Peter Obi, not Atiku. If we wanted Atiku, we would have given him a chance. We have not been electing him. Anytime you have seen him get votes from the north, is because there was no other alternative. I am begging you, it's time to give somebody a chance from the southeast. What is our problem with the Igbos? We come and say one Nigeria, one Nigeria. Now they change the national anthem and brought the old one to talk about we being together. But it's all a lie. It's all lip and mouth service. I don't know what is our problem. Why are we afraid of the people from the southeast? Then we say we are one Nigeria. When they are now saying they want to leave Nigeria so that they can have Biafra, we fight it. If we know they are not important, why are we not letting them go? Now when it comes to power, we don't trust them. All of us northerners must team up behind Obi. We have suffered under our own so-called northerners. Why did Wike destroy PDP? He destroyed it because he said it was the turn of the south and that the ticket should be zoned to somebody from the south. That was his fight. That was his grievance. So why should it now be okay to say that it should remain in the north?
You know, I like how Northerners are coming out to tell Atiku to drop his ambition for 2027. I like how Northerners are basically, you know, giving Atiku even ultimatum, you know, drop his ambition and support a Peter Obi, you know, because it is a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. It's the same no-brainer situation that happened in 2023 that made Atiku become the flag bearer of the PDP. At the end of the day, they lost that election woefully. That same thing will most likely play out. And if it does, you know, sometimes politicians don't know the repercussions. And sometimes the actions that comes after some decisions that they may have taken. The reason I say that is because this is the turn of the South. You can't just come and truncate it. It is even a no-brainer in the first place for him to even go on ahead to contest the elections in 2023. There is no way in the world with what Buhari had done for 8 years, a Northwesterner from Katsina, you will now come from a Northeast because you are an Atiku having contested for a presidential election for 6 times. Then the country will now come and vote you from the Northeast to now become the president of the country. And truth be told, Atiku was the one that spoiled Peter Obi's chances in 2023, not the other way around. Let's just be clear on this, because there's no way power shouldn't have been looked at and shifted to the south. After all, El-Rufai is a northwesterner. After all, those governors, those I think like 6 or 7 of them that came out and said, no, Buhari have done 8 years. We love power. Truth be told, Northerners love power. That's it almost looks as if they were born with it. Unlike the Southerners. Southerners, once you don't give them power, they continue their life as long as they're able to wake up, go out, seek for 1 or 2 things to eat that particular day, or maybe to do their business. Life continues. Being in power is not something that is the go-to thing for an average Southerner. But the Northerner, power is where he eats from. That's where he thinks he can make small change. They're not as dynamic and not as industrious as we are in the South. And also, upon all of that thing, they said, no, you know what? They would have even played the card in such a way that they would have played into the hands of making Atiku the president. They would have done it. But because of Jagaban, the way he was forceful, used monies, everything. But we know the role that Buhari played. Buhari did not, even including his body language. His body language keeps putting out, everybody should go there and contest, anybody that emerge. But trust me, if Atiku, if Asiwaju did not emerge, if Asiwaju did not emerge at the primaries, in fact, it was a foregone conclusion, and the last pot of the kettle was to make sure that Atiku wins. Yes, they wanted to make Atiku the president, but the force of Jagaban was just too much, and they needed and everybody now gave up as to this guy's his force is too much. Now you have all of those. They have this thing cornered, and they said no. Let's give it to the South. It's not right for a Buhari who has done 8 years. Now give it to an Atiku who will now come and do another 8 years, of course. A northeasterner from northwest to northeast. It's not done. We know that it's not written anywhere. It's not signed anywhere that South power must shift to the south, power must shift to the north. But it has this mutual understanding. Okay, 8 years south, and Peter Obi has come and said, look, okay. This may be the problem now. To be the North might now start saying, if we give him now, how are we sure that by 2031 he want to leave? Yes, it's a genuine concern. But the man has gone ahead and said, you know what? I know they do. I don't think 4 years is what I would use to want to repair this country. From day one, I would work, and by the second year, you would have counted numerous things that I would have done. That's how a leader thinks. Not with you do a policy. After 6 months, you are seeing that policy is killing Nigerians. It's making people go mad, and you are still keeping the policy. That is the way you made it must go. And then you're telling us the money that have been saved. Instead of you to help make the money that have been saved work for Nigerians and maybe put the subsidy on food that is expensive. No, you said no, that you are investing it. Oh, wait, you're investing? Is it when people finish dying? That's when you will know that people cannot see food to eat? Is it when people die? So now you see the potential candidate, somebody who you know can win an election. For crying out loud, nobody gave Peter Obi a chance in 2023. And sometimes I say some things are blessing in disguise. Some things are a blessing in disguise. Imagine Peter Obi did not defect from PDP at the time he defected to the Labour Party. Imagine he did not do that. They would have said, "Come on." After all, when he was with Atiku in 2019, they got 12 million votes. It was Atiku that got him those numbers. It was clear that Peter Obi was a force to reckon with because he had not actually gone for an election as a president before. That was the very first time, and it shocked everybody that he was able to gather those numbers. 12 states, including the FCT. Including Lagos. Come on, man. Come on. In fact, including Rivers, save for what the Magomago that people who were there did, who said they actually manipulated the result that came out from Rivers State, because Peter Obi won landslide in Rivers State. It would have been 13 states. It would have been. But be that as it may, let's count it the way that INEC did count. You give him the numbers, and now you see an election coming up. On what basis is Atiku wanting to contest? On what basis now are you now wanting, Atiku to contest? Which I just want to know. Because Kenneth Okonkwo really even make any point by saying that it's only a northerner that can remove Atiku from, that can remove Tinubu from power. False. If Atiku mobilizes his supporters and gather around and support Peter Obi before 12 noon of the same day of that election, Tinubu will be gone.
Southern presidency for 8 years, for me, sacrosanct. It's something that cannot be jeopardized. It's something that must be abided by. And so for any serious opposition that wants to challenge the incumbent President Tinubu, who is from the South, that such a party, it will be in his own interest to field a Southern candidate. And since an aspirant like Peter Obi has come out to say clearly and in bold relief that I will run for just one term because I also respect zoning. And he didn't just say it, he made a proposition to the coalition he's just joined, the ADC, in that respect. And he has also granted an interview where he was seen in colors, saying, I will run for only one term. And one term is enough for me to reposition the country. I may not achieve everything I want to achieve, but I'm willing to sacrifice my privilege and right in the interest of national unity, because I believe that by 2031, the presidency should be returning for the North. That was quite thoughtful. That was quite ingenious of him. That was quite patriotic, if you ask me, to have stated this clearly. Meaning, I believe I will run, but I'm not unaware of the peculiarity of the power dynamics in Nigeria. So I'm not going to live in denial of that. So I'm stating it often that I want to run, but I will run for only one time if given the opportunity. So I want to believe that the ADC, if they are serious about taking power from the president, must. If this story is, I don't know how true this story is, but this is something for them to pick up and read. And this, for me, what you see on the front page of the pilot, somehow is in sync with public perception, public opinion, and the expectation from this party, particularly as it concerns zoning or the presidency. Now, as for Obi as a candidate, Obi again has thrust himself ahead of others, going to the 2027 race by his principal stance on a number of issues. You see, I've had reasons on this program to criticize Obi severally for not being very clear on alternatives he's offering to the incumbent administration. But this last interview over the weekend, which in my consideration was one of his best ever, has lightened up the mood in this country, has sort of restored some level of hope, because in that interview, he was able to go a notch higher in providing some level of philosophical clarity as to how and how he intends to tackle Nigeria's myriad of existential problems. Apart from addressing the basic issues of integrity, character, in governance, and frugal management of resources, there was something remarkable about his interview on two fronts. He stand on the role of petroleum subsidy, which have insisted that if anybody must challenge Tinubu, you must come with a clear-cut alternative to what he has done. For the first time, I think Obi too, like I've always said, that 2 years enough for both those in power and those in the opposition to have taken time to reflect on the effect of subsidy removal and come up with a change of position. He seems to have adopted that because, for the first time, Obi said he would first tackle the corruption associated with subsidy to ascertain what exactly Nigeria is paying for in subsidy before taking the next step. This is like a strong shift from his orthodoxy, or the position of orthodoxy of it has to go because subsidy in itself is bad. I was pleasantly surprised, and it's a welcome development because we need alternatives in the polity. I'm speaking about this morning because it's an alternative is offered now.
Yes.
So why not look at the corruption, and then going forward, let us now know what is it that we are really paying for, and probably if it does not hurt the system, then we can continue. Something like that. I expect him in the coming days to also sharpen this direction he's taking now, sharpen it and make it a policy statement. Now, there's something remarkable you also talked about. Borrowing. That he's going to borrow. but to invest in businesses. Ladies and gentlemen, you should have, definitely I would have been excited. I have always said that government has to do business. And I think government must borrow. It has to be to do business. And when they asked him, what kind of business will he invest in? He said agricultural production across the value chains. Because he believes that agriculture will yield for Nigeria much more than oil is doing. So it means he himself is considering the fact that government must have a role to play in the means of production. These are the kind of alternatives we want to see. So we can have decent conversations here going forward. And let me tell you, what this man has done is going to put pressure on the incumbent administration to also look at their own policy, their own stand, and begin to adjust accordingly. And that is the beauty of democracy. So at the end of the day, we have qualitative discourse in the polity. It begins to yield results for the people. That's what democracy is all about.
Absolutely.
And so he has risen up to the challenge of being the true voice of opposition, something we've been yearning for since 2023.